back with us now, Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich. Sir, it's great to have you back on. Okay, we've had Homeland Security officials warning that the White House is rushing the processing of Afghan refugees, that corners are being cut. What are you hearing? Are you worried about this?
Well, we're obviously worried about it, Liz, because border security is national security. And when you look at the disaster, the catastrophe in Afghanistan, there are literally tens of thousands of people that haven't been vetted. We know as a fact that 2,000 to 4,000 people that have been failed to properly been vetted are right now in the heart of Europe, in a place that the EU doesn't even recognize as a state. Furthermore, there are people that helped the military, that helped us, that have been left behind. So the Biden administration has sent a clear signal to the world that if you are a failed state or you're a terrorist, we're not going to do anything to stop you from coming across our southern border. And it's quite frankly now become more dangerous to be an ally of the United States than our adversary. It's very, very sad, and the American public's going to pay a price for this. Think about this, Liz. If one terrorist comes across our border, we know people on the terror watch list have been apprehended. Just one, think about how much damage they can do to this country.
Yeah, the positioning should be that the jihadis are in this for generations to come. They play the long game. We shouldn't be about short political sound bites for the efficacy of winning back your seat in Washington, D.C. Let's move on to this separate story. A New York Times story indicates and shows, it's reporting, the New York Times is saying, that even White House Democrats found Biden's border policies were so disastrous that White House officials are secretly relieved and happy that the Supreme Court ordered them to reinstate Trump's Remain in Mexico policy. The border crossings have hit historic highs. Your take on even White House officials happy about that, about the reinstated Remain in Mexico?
It shows the intellectual dishonesty of the Biden administration. Leadership, there's an old saying, is all about what do you do in a time of crisis. And what the Biden administration has done, and his allies in the Congress like Chuck Schumer and Cartel Kelly, they have abdicated control of our southern border to the cartels. And as a result, America is a more dangerous place. So I'm guessing there are some people in the administration that are afraid to make tough decisions, that know, they're seeing the intelligence, they're seeing the data. They know objectively, it's a fact, hardened criminals, dangerous people, people convicted of violent crimes, and people on the terror watch list have been apprehended. A record amount of fentanyl is coming into this country. This is going to be a disaster for everyone, not just here in Arizona, not along our southern border, but all over the United States. So I think they know that. I think if anyone looks at it objectively, they know the Biden administration is making this a more dangerous place. And I think they're relieved the Supreme Court bailed them out. But at the end of the day, it just epitomizes why so many people are frustrated with Congress, because they do nothing and they care more about their political futures than they do about protecting America.
So, your point, what you're just saying is we have now even Democrats are now breaking away from the White House and demanding that the administration do more to secure the border. Watch the Laredo, Texas mayor, a Democrat, demanding a smart wall. Watch another Texas Democrat lawmaker saying Biden is ruining the border. Watch this.
My understanding was that President Biden ran on a virtual wall or a smart wall containment, but we haven't seen those elements. And it's just getting worse. Does he want the border to exist?
I always say that when a nation does not control its border, when a nation cannot define its border, it ceases to be a nation. And right now, we do not control our border.
Right now, we do not control our border. Texas Democrats saying that. Mark, I need to ask you this. Texas is moving with money, billions of dollars, to secure its border. Will Arizona do the same?
We should, Liz, because this isn't an issue of left versus right. It's a fundamental issue of right versus wrong. You look at this objectively. This is a huge concern. It's going to be a concern because of the hardened criminals, because of the terrorists coming across. And if Joe Biden and his allies in Congress won't do their job, then we have to do that job as a state. It's not fair to us, but we need to step up because the Biden administration won't. They've shown a total disregard for the public health and safety of America.
So Arizona's going to spend money to secure the border?
Well, I'm the Attorney General. I enforce the law. As you know, I have multiple lawsuits. I don't do everything I can, but yes, we should. We should.
Okay. Mark Brnovich, great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Liz.
And thank you so much for watching. I'm Elizabeth McNulty.